What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. The Indianapolis Colts are winning the Super Bowl. Powers here. And today, I am here to talk about the Colts versus Ravens Week 3 game. But before I start, I just got to start off by saying, Baltimore Ravens, what happened? Sorry, I might cut that out. But yeah, Baltimore. We beat the Ravens somehow. We defeated the Ravens 22-19 in an overtime thriller. Gutsy win. Really big win, gutsy win. And yeah, I know they were missing 7 of their starters, but we were missing our starting quarterback. It was a very gutsy win, very gutsy team win. And with that, I want to get into my takeaways. And the first takeaway is just the whole team as a whole, because there wasn't one specific area that outshined any of the others. It was all it was a team win. It was a team win yesterday. Yesterday's game was very much a team win. That's all I can say. All 3 phases, special teams especially, which we'll get into later, offense and defense all played very well. It was a very good team win, and that is what you love in the NFL, is when you get a team win, a gutsy win, odds stacked against you. We were not favored to win this game. Everyone thinking we're getting blown out, but we didn't get blown out. We ended up winning. It's crazy to me that we won that game. It was just a good team win, and that's just the first thing I wanted to point out. I want to get into my next takeaway, which is one specific part of the ball, just the defense as a whole. Defense played very well. They contained Lamar Jackson very well, aside from his 2 rushing touchdowns, which I really appreciate because I have Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team, but that's besides the point. I was very impressed with how the defense played. They looked very good. They played very well. Aside from the 2 touchdowns, they contained Lamar very well. They made plays late. They didn't collapse late in the game like they have in the past. They just looked very good. They looked very, very solid. And one player I want to highlight specifically is Juju Brents. His first NFL game, because he missed the first 2 weeks, he played incredibly well. He had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, had a couple pass breakups, was all over the field, played Zay Flowers pretty well the entire time, and he's going to be a stud. I'm so glad he's on the field, and it's good to see him playing because the corners have struggled the first 2 weeks, so to see him out there is very, very promising. And, yeah, the whole defense just they able to stop the run the whole time and force 2 turnovers. It was just very solid. It was a very, very solid by the defense. And, yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. The defense played very well, led a very good offense, only scored 19, which you're going to win a lot of times when you do that. So it was just a very good defensive performance. And with that, I want to get into the offense now, but very specifically Zach Moss, because Zach Moss had a day. He had over 100 yards rushing. He had a few receiving yards, and most importantly, he had a receiving touchdown where he completely bullied Patrick Queen, mossed his ass, and scored a touchdown. It was on his head. He should have done the too small celebration after he was done, even though Patrick Queen's bigger than him. That's besides the point. It was a nice wheel route from Gardner Minshew. Threw it. It was a completion to Zach Moss, and he scored the touchdown. That was our only touchdown of the day, but it was the only touchdown we needed. And it was Zach Moss has very much impressed me these last 2 weeks. He played very well last week against Houston, played very well today. He had 20 carries, over 100 yards rushing. If Jonathan Taylor actually comes back and plays, him and Moss together are going to be a very deadly duo. Because Zach Moss has looked very good these past 2 games. The 2 games he's played in, he's looked very good. And Minshew, Gardner Minshew, he had himself a decent game. He had over 200 yards. He had 27 completions, had a touchdown pass, took care of the ball. He did have a fumble, but we recovered it, so it wasn't a lost fumble. But that was mostly because of the play of Kyle Hamilton on the other side. Kyle Hamilton, I just want to give him a shout out, even though he doesn't play for the Colts. He had a very good game, Notre Dame alum. I'm a very big Notre Dame fan, as you guys know, so it's cool to see him having success in the NFL. It just really sucked. He played very well in this game because it was my team, but it doesn't matter. We won. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the offense. Now let's get into the most important part of the game, special teams. More specifically, Matt Gay. Because Matt Gay broke an NFL record in this game. He had 4 field goals of 50-plus yards in one game. That is the first time that ever happened, including the game winner in overtime. And he looked so good. He looked very, very, like every field goal was just straight. It was just straight and had plenty of leg. Like, we got ourselves a kicker. That right there is why we paid him all that money. That is hands down. Like, that right there is why he's the highest paid kicker in the league. I might have to get his jersey now because that was very impressive what he did. Four field goals. Like, 4 field goals of over 50 yards in one game is insane. Like, I think there was a couple 54-yarders. Like, they weren't easy kicks at all. Especially the game winner in overtime was a 53-yarder. He drilled it right down the middle. It was just so good. It's just refreshing to have a kicker again. Because we had Vinatieri, but Vinatieri never did anything like that. He never even had 2 50-yarders in a game. That was the first time an Indianapolis Colts kicker had multiple 50-yarders in a game. That's saying a lot, too. We've had some good kickers. We had Mike Vanderjagt, who was good until the Steelers game in the playoffs, and then Vinatieri, who, of course, he's one of the best kickers of all time. And to go into the Ravens' house, where Justin Tucker plays, and outkick him was very fun to see. Now, of course, there was some negatives. The offense only scored 3 points off of 2 turnovers. Gotta clean that up. The defense gives you the ball back. You need to take advantage of it. We're not scoring off of turnovers, so that's the only thing. We did get 3 off of the second forced fumble, but we definitely need to make sure we're capitalizing on the turnovers. And, I feel like this is stuff that could be cleaned up as the season goes along. And honestly, we got ourselves a question now. I literally said to myself before that game, if we win this game somehow, I think Gardner Minshew has a legit chance to be the QB1 for the rest of the season. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we gave him a chance because when he's been in there, he's looked calm, he's been composed, he's played very well. Other than him Dan Orlovskying himself in the end zone in the game yesterday, it ended up not mattering in the end. But other than that, he looked very good. He looked very poised. And I wouldn't be surprised to let Richardson learn a little bit more if we do go Minshew for a while. But I don't know, probably not. Shane Steichen seems very hell-bent on Anthony Richardson starting, which I'm cool with too. But honestly, I wouldn't mind giving Gardner Minshew a chance if they came down to it. I'm not saying it's a possibility. I'm just saying if it is, that's my thoughts on it. I would give it a chance just to see what happens. So, yeah, that's basically all there really was. I do want to give my game MVP, and as much as I want to give it to Zach Moss for his incredible game, he's going to be the honorable mention for the second week in a row. I have to give it to Matt Gay. Matt Gay, like I said, made all of his field goals. First kicker in NFL history to have 4 50-plus yard field goals in the same game, and he kicked the game winner in overtime. I got to give it to him for sure. I think he definitely earned that, and it's about time the special teams get some love. We've done 3 weeks, and each week a different phase of the ball has gotten the game MVP. First week it was defense, last week it was offense, and this week it goes to special teams. So, yeah, I do want to do a play of the game too, because I just need to recognize it. Michael Pittman Jr.'s catch in an overtime when he went up and caught it and got his helmet knocked off and held onto the ball, that was the play of the game right there. Like, just incredible stuff. So, yeah, next week we play the Rams at home, which I don't know what the Rams are going to do. They play Monday night, which is tonight. So, we'll see if they win, and I think that'll really determine. It's just not going to determine how the game goes next week. I don't even know why I said that, but I'm interested to see how the game goes next week. I think we're riding high right now. We're 2-1. We're leading the AFC South, which is something I wanted to mention earlier, but completely spaced. We're number 1 in the AFC South right now. Feels good. We haven't been number 1 in the AFC South since a couple seasons ago. 2021 was the last time we were leading the AFC South, I'm pretty sure. So it feels good to be on top, even if it's just for 1 week. It feels good. So, yeah. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on the bell notifications and for everything in the description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.